said she'll love you forever. He said he'll be there no matter the weather. Don't put your trust in man. Leave it to the man with the plan that can. Don't need to look no further. Yeah, I'll tell you where it's at. Don't need to look no further. Don't you look no further. Love in your mind produces love in your life. Gotta first love yourself before you can love anybody else. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is love to all mankind. Don't need to look no further. Let me tell you where. I'll tell you where it's at. Don't need to look no further. No. Don't need to look no further. I'll tell you where it's at. It's right here. No need, no, 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 no. Don't need to look no further. I'll tell you where it's at. Real love. Don't need to look no further. Searching for that real love. Don't need to look no further. I'll tell you where it's at. Real love. Don't need to look no further.
Family, what's going on, y'all? Hope that everybody's doing all right tonight. My co-host and my co-star is here tonight, and we got an extra we got an extra person with us tonight. Y'all will say what's up. There's about 20 of you guys viewing us from 3 different places. So if you are watching us on Facebook, you're either on my Facebook, my wife's Facebook, or you are on our new YouTube channel. If you have not already, subscribe to A Williams to Remember. There, you can see it right there. Guys, just go to YouTube, tag in A Williams to Remember. Speak to me as you guys come in. Let me see who's watching tonight. Jalen is on. Hi, Jay. Yes, we are a little late, so spread the word, hit the share thing. We were supposed to start at 9, and we were a little late, so forgive me and forgive us. We got a baby, so
No, they rule.
they have the final say. Lady J, good to see you tonight.
Hi, Lady J.
Hi, Lady J. Which Lady J is this? Yeah, I thought it was Jalen, but this is a different Lady J. Okay, so we got multiple. You got 2 Lady J's on. All right, Dion Marie, good to see you tonight. Let me see. Sally is on. Good to see you, Sally. Hey, Sally. Jay said, "This is not church sermon. Please don't say leave family and friends. I want to see y'all. See it. You want to see little man? Is that what she's saying?
Oh, this is not church sermon. Please don't leave friends and family.
Oh no. This is for everybody. So we're good. Cousin Ronette is on. Hey, cousin Ronette.
Hi,
Good to see you on. Let me see who else. Again, forgive us for being like 10 minutes late. I know that some of y'all are in, in the bed or whatever. Let me see. Rasan, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us tonight. Danielle Shepherd is on. Good to see you.
Hey, sis.
Shay is on. Good to see you. Happy birthday, Shay.
Happy birthday to you.
You see how my brother didn't change her whole life? Ramos got the
Happy
Spanish,
birthday. No, I'm sorry.
got the Spanish back name, last name, Ramos.
Change to life.
I love it. Tiffany Thomas is on. So there's about 31 of you guys who are on. Do me a favor, share. Again, you between my page, my wife's page, our YouTube channel. It's good to see y'all on tonight. Whitney Thomas, good to see you. Good to see you. Helen Todman, good
Hi,
to see you.
Helen.
Dominique Clara, good to see you. The people are coming on. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because people are calling me. Okay, so let me make sure I got that. Okay, perfect. Who else is on? Naomi, we miss you, Naomi. Good to see you. Paulette is in the building. Oh, Jalen said, please show little John Carl.
Oh, he's chilling.
Just say hi to the people. Say hi, John Carl. Yeah. Look. Aaron Quick, keeping it real, moving.
Keep it real moving.
What up? We are Bermuda. Come on.
Hi. Oh, yes. She's from my college.
Awesome. Good to see
Hey,
you on.
how are you, Chantel? Good to see you.
Trudy Mack is on. Good to see you. She got Chicago in the building. We're all here. So listen.
Nice.
Wait. What did Jay Nichols say? He said, I promise this just opened on my phone. I heard the voice of my friend. Oh, you missed it last week. Your wife was on. But it's good to see you on, brother man. Deacon extraordinaire. Listen, we're here to talk about love and relationship. We did this for those of you who are new to this. Last week, we said that we were going to talk about our relationship and just talk about relationships in period. There's definitely not a lot of platforms that are that really have people who are vulnerable, honest about talking about real relationships. We put on a facade and what we want people to know. And even with us, people have kind of had this idea of what our relationship was, and it's so magical and it's great. And while it has had amazing moments, we've had a magical, amazing journey. It has not been a fantasy. And so it's good for us to kind of have real dialogue. And prayerfully, we can help some people who are going through some things or just kind of sorting some things out as well. Prophet Nate is on. Come on. Prophet Nate, we missed you man, in Brooklyn this week. Jalen says, I have some popcorn. I'm ready to laugh and take notes. Oh, it's going to be fun. Y'all already know how we do. Kava Hicks is on. Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
so good to
sis.
see you. Good to see you. Our private marriage counselor, Jericho Morris. Shout out to Justin. He is my cousin. He is now our cousin. Let me tell y'all, even before we start, everybody needs somebody in their relationship, in their marriage, in their dating life. That person that's going to be objective. You need that person that's not going to take sides. What I love and appreciate about my cousin is that during our situation, even though he's my kin, he never was like, I'm going to take Alex's side, I'm going to take Tia's side. He was fair.
He definitely took my side more, though.
Yeah, he kind of did a little bit. But it's okay. It's okay. But he really did that because he was really on my side because he knew it was best for me. So then he kind of did the thing. Anyway, everybody needs somebody who's going to be objective in relationships. That's going to tell you the truth, tell both sides the truth. And if you don't have somebody like that, get somebody like that. So shout out to you, Justin.
Shout out, Justin.
Sheree is on. Little Sheree is on.
Hi, Sheree.
Nakia is on. Good to see you on Saturday. We saw you this Saturday. Good to see you.
Yes.
Kimberly is on. Kim is on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put all these. I'm gonna put all the
Hey,
comments
Kim.
on up so that we can see you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this where it doesn't block me, but I can still see you guys.
Jean!
Wait.
Hi,
Which
Jean.
Gene is on?
So I always take your side, girl. So Jean is the person that exposed me to international traveling. I went
yeah.
to Turkey with her youth group, and
Nice.
she changed my life forever. I will forever
Nice.
praise Gene, I love you.
I love it. Well, thank God for Jean exposing my wife.
Yes.
And Tawana Brown is on, my favorite couple. Good to see you.
Hello.
Stephen Marshall said the celeb pastors. Says the one who has a blue check next to his
Right.
Al Sharpton's right hand man. Come on, stop it, bro. You got a blue check next to his name talking about celeb pastors. Look, you see how these people do it. Kim, good to see you. All right, so I'm excited. We're gonna talk tonight, and of course, let me see how I can get this so we can see everybody. Okay, that's not the way we do it. Okay, let me let me figure out how to do this. Okay, I did something wrong. What did I do? Did I do something wrong? I think I did something wrong. How do I correct this, babe? Okay. All right, that was cool. I think I need to get rid of this thing. This is terrible. Okay, no, I'm not supposed to show that.
My.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so let's talk tonight. Somebody said power couple. To God be the glory. Thank you. Shekinah is on. Oh, we're going to cut up tonight.
Chiquita Benita.
We're going to cut up. Shaquana is on. We're going to cut up.
Hey, cuz.
Chris is on.
Chris
Get this.
already left.
Oh yeah, we're already ready. All right, so let's start off with some fun facts, right? Let's see how well you guys know us, maybe, right? Fun fact number 1: how many times did we break up? And Justin cannot answer this. Put it in the chat. How many times did Deanna and I? I keep pulling up this thing. Why do I keep doing that? Do I just need to stop messing with it? Okay, all right. How many times did we break up? Okay, let me see. What are the people in the chat saying? Let me put this overlay up. Okay. Why does she always close loud? All right, so we got a couple of answers. Naomi said 2. Whitney says 3. Sally said 99. Not 99.
8 times.
8 times, 4 times,
Lord.
8, 3, 3, 3. I'm getting a lot of 3s. I'm getting some 4s. I'm getting some 4s. I am getting some 2s. I'm getting some 3s. The general consensus is kind of like 3, right? Are we getting kind of like a lot of 3s? 4. All right, so you tell them. How many times did we break up?
2.5.
It was 2 times.
Two
All
and a
right,
half.
it was 2 times. Is no halves. We broke up twice, and thanks be to God, we're married. Okay, number 10. Fun fact number 2. Who hit who? Yeah, Justin was right. I said you couldn't answer, Justin. You know who hit who up first? Who was in the DM? Who was John Call? Who hit who up first?
Who hit who? So what's the answers? Who? 2.5 is 3.
It was 2.4, so that means it was closer to 2. Dion, who hit who up first? Did I hit her up first? Did she hit? She was okay. Jalen said she. Who else? For those of you who just coming on, hit that share button as we converse. She said he did. Paulette said Pastor Alex. Naomi said Pastor Alex. Sally said Pastor Alex. I love the fact that y'all are saying the guy needs to hit up the woman first. I just love this. Kimberly said, I know this is random, but y'all look alike. This is what they're saying, that when people get married, they start to look alike.
I got that at the party the other day too. Somebody said that.
Yeah. He did, Alex. First Lady, did you just roll your eyes at my answer? All right, so I'm going to give the answer. Technically, she hit me up first.
No.
Yes.
Okay. See.
Wait,
The nonsense.
you hit me first.
We talked
I tagged you in a video, but
about
you
this before we
technically.
got on live.
Let me tell you the story. So what happened was we were at a funeral.
Wow.
We were at a funeral. Email Washington is coming on. Email Washington is the source of all things. Let me tell you this. He's the reason why we first met, because he put us on a preaching engagement. Let me tell you, Email Washington, you done put us together. You put us to you put her to preach and me to Joel Osteen on the same platform. We talked about this last week, so we're not gonna really go into it. But Email Washington put us on a platform to speak together and gave both of us the wrong instructions and told her to preach and told me to TED Talk. And then I get up and do my Joel Osteen and she's Juanita Bynum and tears up the audience, and I was incredibly upset. So Email, I blame you. But so emails are here. No, we saw each other at Archbishop Roy Brown's funeral.
Babe, no, we did not.
We
No,
did.
we did not.
And then we emailed some stuff.
This is ridiculous.
And then you hit me up and say, "Oh, you look sad. Are you okay?" She hits me up. She was like 10 rows behind me, but she was paying attention. I was sitting next to my mother. She said, "Hey, you look sad. Are you okay?" I was like, "Well, it is a funeral. Like, of course I'm gonna be sad. Sad is a funeral." It's a funeral. But I don't know how she saw my expressions 10 rows back. I don't know. She must have had glasses like this. I don't know how she saw me 10 rows back.
This is amazing. This is so amazing because, wow, dude. First of all, that was not the first time we met.
I just said this was the first time we met. I said that's who hit who up first.
That's a lie. That's
Yo, I was like, I didn't even see the message at that time.
Oh,
I think I saw it later. I was like, okay, I'm okay. But it was a funeral, so of course we all sad.
But you was extra sad.
I love Archbishop. We all were sad. It was a funeral.
You were extra sad.
Okay, okay.
All right. So when you responded, what did you say to me? You know.
Okay. So no. Okay, so it did at that time. Okay, yeah, I got you. At that time, my dad was sick, and it kind of like brought some things to life. But she just said, you saw it. Who hit it first? So you saw she just admitted that she did so. Okay, question number 3.
Wow. No, stop. First of all, we first saw each other.
Montana, what's up?
We first saw each other at Kyle Penseal's event before we went to preach at emails thing. And I was talking to somebody. It was over. I was talking to somebody, and he was standing there waiting to get my number. Waiting to get my number.
See, John Carl is crying. He knows that is
waiting to get my number. And I was looking at him through my peripheral, and I'm like, "Oh, he really gonna
no.
wait?"
That's not true. She told me the story that when we were at this Kyle Penseal's event, I walked past and she's like, "Ooh, who's that guy?" You didn't say that.
All right.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that.
All right.
You didn't say that.
That's partly true, but I didn't know who he was.
2.5.
I didn't know who he was. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, look. Okay, we gotta move because like. So you got 65 of y'all on. Some people are on my page. Some people are on her page. Some people on our YouTube. Share if you guys are on. Let's go fun fact 3 because this isn't going nowhere. All right, fun fact number 3. Where did we take our wedding photos? Anybody can answer. Where did we take our wedding photos? Yo, where did we take our wedding? Kim said,
Paulette, relax. Relax.
Oh man. Okay. Shekinah said Gracie Mansion. Who else? It was definitely in New York. Sally said Gracie Mansion.
Yes, Amani. Men always giving their own alternative facts.
Okay. Jalen said Gracie. So we don't have to prolong it. Yes. Gracie's mansion. It was at the mayor's mansion. Yes. We were grateful enough to be able to take pictures there. Just so that you guys know, we're going to just show this real quick while we're there. Central Park, that would have been great. But the mayor did co-officiate our wedding. Shout out to Mayor Eric Adams. We love him. He is New York City's mayor. We're just gonna go through a couple of these real quick of the wedding. It was amazing. Mayor Eric Adams was co-officiating of our wedding. Our main officiant of our wedding was Reverend A.R. Bernard. Shout out to him, one of our mentors. Just amazing man of God. Including in the wedding was Reverend Bernard, Mayor Eric Adams, Archbishop Rochford, Bishop Charles Harris. And I wanted to pull this up, Reverend Dr. Elaine Flake.
Doctor.
That was a great wedding, right? It was
Absolutely great. And shout out to her. Our condolences to
Yeah.
Reverend Elaine and the loss of her mom.
Yeah,
But
we're praying
we
for the
love them.
Flake family.
Do y'all see the details of this dress? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see the details?
Y'all should have saw the details and getting this thing together.
Lord have mercy.
A couple of pictures on the wedding. Shout out to Imani who sent us these pictures.
I love this
We
picture.
love you, Imani. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Imani.
She'll support her business. Imani, put your business in the chat, please. Joy Works Photography. Put it in the chat, please, so that everybody can see it. Yeah, we had shout out to Damian Sneed, had an amazing orchestra there.
Yes.
Shout out to my boy True Osborne. He filled in for B Slade, who was supposed to sing at our wedding, but he got caught up in LA. But True was a true friend and brother, stepped in, learned B Slade's song, killed it. It was amazing. Shout out to our sister Anisha Figueroa Cooper, who killed at the wedding. She was absolutely amazing. Anybody know Anisha is a powerhouse. 170's own. Let's see the brothers. Where the brothers at? These were the groomsmen. Y'all see my brothers? My best man, my cousin Justin. Jared looking creepy and sneaky in this photo. Daniel looked like he has to use the bathroom. Jeremy Tuck, Reverend Jeremy Tuck, looked like he's repenting. Q, my boy Q, Kamal is there. You can't see Javon. Pastor Derek Hawkins looks like he's in consecration mode. So shout out to the brothers who are fly. And then shout out to all the ladies. Talk to about your ladies. Who are your ladies who are on?
Oh, these are my girls. Rhodey in the back looking like she's asleep, half praying. Ebony looking like she's definitely asleep, but she is awake and praying.
Wait,
I think we were all praying.
My mama said, I didn't know tonight is part 2. Yes, it's part 2. So if those of y'all are on, the 70 of y'all are on,
I
share.
think prayer was happening in this moment.
Yeah.
Stephanie was not in prayer. She probably was worried about, I don't know, maybe her kids or something. I don't know. But actually, she just called me. Anyway, yeah, those are my girls. Stephanie, Heather, Natalina, my sister. All right.
Amazing. And I think that is it. Yeah, it was a great wedding. Shout out to everybody who was a part. But let's talk. For those who were on last week, we want to hear from you guys real quick. Is there anything that kind of stood out to us that was funny, that was touching, that was revelatory, that just kind of hit you in a place where it made you kind of examine some other things in your life?
What was one takeaway?
Yeah, what's kind of like one takeaway from last week? Oh, he's yawning. Yeah, he's about to go to sleep. Praise the Lord.
Prayerfully.
Here. Let me see him.
You gonna get distracted. Good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because Imani said yes, it was prayer. But anything, what stood out to you guys, a takeaway from last week? And then we got some really hot, juicy stuff to talk about, and we're going to get in some of y'all business as we allow you to get into our business. Yeah. Tim Clinton. Yo, he is stupid. Tim said, any prayer worries on him, I'm available. Let me tell you, Tim Clinton is available, y'all. World-class musician. He got an album out.
His album release is what day?
Album release is coming up. Tim Clinton, let me tell you, there's hope, brother. I thought that my wife was one of those Juanita Bynum, womanist, branding, preaching warrior women, but she surprised me. And so there's hope for us. There's hope for you, brother.
Well, I'm actually shocked at his comment because that makes me see that he actually is now, open to prayer warriors.
That is hilarious. Tim Clinton said, Justice said she still is. She still. But,
All right.
Yeah, Tim's joint is on
Wait,
November 8th.
Tim said, I'll take Juanita at this point. She's single, actually, I think.
Yo, he's stupid.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on.
That's hilarious. My mother said, "How about the mothers at the wedding?" We got to upload some more. Listen, we are coming back for part 3 next week, so we'll have some more pictures. Yes, the mothers were fly at the wedding. All right, so let's talk. Let's talk about something that was really interesting and rules to reconnecting. Anybody on this line like ever been with on and off with somebody and you're kind of trying to figure out what it's going to take to be and get back together? I know our story is really interesting of how we got back together. It literally took God
Himself.
in the flesh. Yeah, it literally took God for us to get back together. But let's hear from you guys. Like, what would you say for somebody that you're kind of going through a rough patch? What would it take for you guys to get back together if you guys broke up? Oh, look at Missionary Savita said, absolutely a pleasure to serve under your ministry. We're so honored.
Love you, Sister
We love you.
Savita.
We love you. But yeah, for those of you who are on, what would you say is kind of like, what are things that you're saying, okay, this has to be in place for me to get back. I'm not going to rekindle with an ex unless it looks like this. Tim said, yes, my ex Shayna. I don't know what I did wrong. Well, I do, but I don't. Yo, Tim Clinton is hilarious, bro.
One of the funniest people I've ever come to befriend.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Like if music didn't work for him, he literally could be a comedian.
Yeah. Facts. I mean, let's just say while people are getting their answers, let's just say this. We broke up because of third parties. And I think that if many of us would be honest, some of our like relationships are ruined because like we just let too many people in our ears. And with our situation, it was massive. It's like spirituality, it's prophetic stuff, mentors and people who were like really prominent. I ain't saying their names, prominent in the church, prominent in our lives. We're like third party people. And that seed kind of grew and it kind of messed us up.
Yeah.
What would you say about it?
Yeah, no, it definitely affected, right, our perspective and our, initial thoughts about one another, and just opened up a lot of
Warren said liars.
Opened up a lot of, worry and fears. I would say fears that really infringed upon our desire to be with one another. So,
Yeah. Alberta says sometimes exes are just that for a reason. That's true. And so, my wife and I were exes for a minute. Stopped talking, blocked each other. And I think for those of you who are like trying to figure out whether you're going to make it work with somebody or if you need space, don't do what we did initially. Don't like break up but still kind of hang on to each other. Like, I think it's important for you guys to actually
create space.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries are important. Boundaries are important. And I think that boundaries are there to protect you. And unfortunately, we didn't have boundaries. And so because of that, it's like, it was always in a situation where we kind of ruining expectations and inadvertently end up hurting each other. Yeah. Aretha said, I enjoyed part 1. It was a reminder that God's timing is perfect, also to trust his plan as well.
Indeed.
Yeah, what were we going to say?
No, I was just going to say that I think we were not being realistic about trying to be friends while not dating anymore. And you have to be really honest about where you are with that person, because both of us, we still loved each other. We still liked each other. We still enjoyed each other's friendship because that's how we started, right? It started through friendship, organic friendship. And so we were still trying to be friends, but knowing that we still had affections for one another.
Yeah.
Knowing that you still have that, it will never work, because now there's two people involved who have mutual feelings.
True.
There are people in my past that I'm like, you couldn't pay me for me to rekindle anything, right? Because there's no interest, there's no
Ooh.
nothing. So, and then even if it was stop breathing right here. Look ahead. God. So, you know, the people don't want to know. You want to know.
Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
so yeah, trying to find, you know, pretty much, no. And if it was one party and the other, you know, still would be somewhat of a struggle, because you never know. Depends on how powerful that person is. They could will that other person in. Moving on.
Yeah, I think. Yo, my cousin Justin brought something up to us that was really important. He reminded us that in our relationship, that one person at one time of our relationship, like, let me tell you, my cousin Justin went through with us, was there, and because the thing is, we didn't have a lot of outlets because we couldn't be public with our situation, right? Because we're pastors, influential in certain spheres, so we had to just kind of have a small circle that helped us to navigate through this, right? But he reminded us that one time, one person worked harder than the other to try to make it work. So during the earlier part of our going through, TM was the one who worked harder to try to make it work. I had gone through a lot of death in my family. I had gone through some things, pandemic. I ain't gonna even go through it. But there's a lot of things that happened between 2019 and 2020. And plus, I was the one who got the prophetic words and all that stuff. So I was the one who was shaky while she was the one who was more so on solid ground. But then what ended up happening is when we like broke up, like literally broke up, and then we finally started talking again in like 2022, it took a lot for us to reestablish that trust. So it was me putting in more of the work and trying to build those foundational pieces again. And so I think for me, one of the rules for reconnecting had to be, for me, peace, which I kind of said last week. What about you?
Yeah, definitely peace, and definitely had to be a change in behavior. You know, one of the things that well, we
said,
never
Justin, I said.
we never really said how we reconnected. Well, it was God. It was
It was
but
God and intentionality. And I really want to say that because I think there's some people just waiting on God to do certain things. God will put you in a place where it gives you the opportunity, but I think you really have to take the initiative and make a choice, and God honors your choice.
Yeah.
He can either bless it or not bless it, but he still honors it. He gives us free will. If I were to tell the story, mine would be extremely abbreviated. T, if she told the story, we would have a part 4.
Whatever. I'm a very detailed person, and sometimes he says things that I don't remember it that way.
Okay.
But anyway,
So
we won't have to tell a story.
we reconnected at Warren Hicks's service in November of 2022, and just like a prophetic word broke us up, there was a man of God who was from Africa that brought us, the bishop of the church, Bishop Brown, brought us into our office, brought us into his office, and there was a prophet that barely spoke English that prophesied to us and said to us, point blank period, that the Lord called you guys and ordained from the foundation of the world that y'all would be together. This man, we've never met him in our life. Never met him. And he barely spoke English. He's from Africa. And yeah, the story's going to take a book, so we probably are going to.
He said if he told the story, it will be a book, because you know both sides and all that we went through.
Yep.
Honestly, all jokes aside, God used our cousin Justin.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't for him, we probably would not be together today.
So true.
All jokes aside.
And he's not an apostle.
Nope.
He's not a bishop. Come on.
Well, he kind of is. He just he hasn't walked into.
He's not an arch elder. He's not an overseer.
Yeah, he's not.
But this was his assignment, you know. Write your book, Pastor Alex. It's coming. I promise you, it's coming. I promise you, it's coming.
Keep him accountable.
Yeah, keep me accountable. But long story short, Warren said,
Warren got the
can't
forward.
But long story short, Warren Hicks, we went to his service. He became an elder and was a man of God that prophesied to us, a bishop and apostle from Africa who doesn't know us, and told us to hold hands and prophesied to us and confirmed and said that the Spirit of the Lord told me that there have been people who have been speaking into your ear and that it has been a plan of the enemy to break us up. But so that was amazing. It was an amazing word, but it didn't solve the problem. We had to put it in work. Imani said arch elders.
That was one of many things that was said, but
Yeah.
The point is that he did not know us at all. Like things that
Yeah.
he said about me, things he said about him, that like you had to know us personally in order to be able to. So he definitely spoke into our lives, and like, you know, Pastor Alex.
He
Oh, we
said-
said we're not doing titles tonight. Okay. Alex said, you know, prophecy for me, it was prophecy cannot trump practicality, right? It cannot trump.
Yeah.
Is practicality the word I'm looking for?
Sometimes it does. He uses foolish things to confound the wise. But I think that it needed to also make sense to us.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is prophecy shouldn't trump, like, you know, how you. There's a word that I'm looking for and I can't find it right now. It shouldn't trump things that, you know, are should be in order, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, even if somebody prophesied to say, oh, you're supposed to be together, like, I'm not going to be with somebody and they still
Practicing
don't
the same,
have,
yeah.
you know, their values in place. They still
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
true.
proper morals in place. Like, I have to be able to see that, to what Justin said earlier, there has to be some growth in a person's behavior. There has
Yeah.
to be a change in behavior.
So good.
Because I could just run with the prophecy and still we're going to encounter the same problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because nothing has been changed, nothing's been learned, and
Yeah.
there is no, you know, there's no a mindset or heart to want to change for the other person,
Yeah.
so that the we can be unified in our interaction. So for me, it was like, oh, that's cool, but I'm not jumping into a relationship with you. Like I hear
Until
it,
there's an assurance that
right?
things
Until
are
there's an
different. Yeah.
assurance like that, you know, that we talked about last week. There are things that I more so needed to be healed from the hurt of our breakups, you know.
But
and
the craziest thing is that because my wife is very passionate about the Lord, and so when the man of God was prophesying to her, she hit the floor. She was gone. She was in. She was going through. She was tarrying. She was
we got it.
all of that stuff. So in all seriousness, while she was on the going through on the floor, when the man was prophesying to us in the office, he says to me, he says, "This will work, but her heart needs to heal." She didn't hear that word, and so that's why I appreciate about this word of God that we received, because it was so accurate. And then the man of God, even with us still kind of being leery and this and that, he said to me, he said, your mother, tell your mother to be careful going up and down the stairs. I see that something happened to her knees. Now, this man of God from Africa doesn't know me, doesn't know us, not from the circle, didn't know that my mother just had 2 knee replacements. And so this was also like additional confirmation just to say, like, hey, you know, this is the word of the Lord for your life. And I see certain people who are commenting in there.
That was like a wow factor for me, definitely, because I was like, okay, you can prophesy, you know, all these wonderful things, you know, but, you know, is it still God, you know, kind of thing. And when he prophesied about his mom's knees, we both looked at each
Knees?
other
Like, let me tell you, that's accurate prophecy.
like,
You
it's
prophesy
so
somebody's
random,
knees.
but yeah, like, you gotta know what's going on. It was so random, but it was so
Yeah.
important. And here's the thing: it was like the Lord knew literally in that moment that I was thinking it,
Doubting.
that yeah, because I started to doubt right in that moment. Even, and I'm telling you, He read us like a book, And I still was like, because after you've been
Prophesied
jaded, you
to,
know,
yeah.
so much, it's like, look, I need to see it. I need to see the miracle before I can believe it. And when he said that random little tip about his mother's knees, it took us both out. We were like,
I said, you prophesy somebody's
You got-
knees. You accurate. You prophesy knees. You
kneecap surgery.
Kneecap. Let me tell you. Yes, Pastor Doubting
Pastor
Zongo.
Dowda.
Pastor
Pastor
Dowda.
Dowda Zongo.
You know you're
Shout
anointed
out
with
to
a name
Pastor
like
Dowda
that.
Zongo.
You anointed with a name like that.
Yeah, you prophesy somebody's knees. You a
You
real
are-
prophet. You got the office. You the office.
You got the build.
The right tendon of the right kneecap.
You got the
Yeah,
building.
you-
More than the office. You got the building. Yeah. So he was really good. But you know what's so funny? Like, and for a little shout out to those who are on, again, hit that share button. I'm always gonna be like the promoter person. We got like 71 of y'all on. Share this with somebody as we're kind of connecting. But our story is very unique. So it literally took months for us to kind of get this thing together. I think that, and to kind of cap this off, 2023, we started talking and she still wasn't my girl. And she came to my apartment one day, and when she came to my apartment, I had a note on my front apartment door that says, "Will you be my girlfriend? Check yes or no." And it took her 45 minutes to give me an answer.
It wasn't.
And I didn't even let her in I didn't let her in the apartment before she. That's gonna sound kind of bad that I didn't let you in. I didn't let her in this apartment until she gave me an answer. I got on my knees.
You forced me to say yes.
Don't use that language, forced. You know, with Diddy,
took my arm.
with Diddy being around, you don't want to use that word, forced. It's not the right climate to use those words. 42 minutes. Yes, it took her 42 minutes.
It wasn't that long, but
It's about 30
I
minutes.
it was. It's just because his knees was hurting because he was.
I was on my knees.
He was on his knees.
Yeah.
In the hallway.
Yeah.
With people walking by.
And I didn't care. I had no, like, I was like, yo, we've been
mean-
talking. And and then the thing is, the craziest thing is that this was March. I had already bought the ring. So,
You did?
yeah. You love me? You love me? You love me?
Okay.
So I bought the ring. So I'm like, you know, to her,
You
she's like,
bought the
this is
ring? You bought
passionate.
the ring
She's like,
already?
you're passionate. I'm like, I didn't pay for this ring. You gonna say yes?
No, you put the ring
Yeah,
already?
yeah. I did not let this woman in my apartment until she gave me an answer.
Y'all getting breaking news with me. I didn't even know this.
Ask my mama. She was there to help me think of it. Mwah. So yeah, so after she finally said
You
yes.
were sure.
I was sure. This was March. I knew the next month I was proposing to her in April. So I was like, she had to say
Y'all,
yes.
I had no idea. First of all, let's backtrack because he asked me in January of
And
that
she
year.
said no.
So we saw each other. We reconnected in November. Was talking, you know, just exploring. January, he asked me to be his girl, and I was like, no.
Then
absolutely.
Valentine's Day,
Valentine's Day came around. Did we hang out for Valentine's Day?
she said no. When she said no in January, I know, okay, it's too soon to buy the ring. I gotta wait.
Yeah. Okay. So then, yeah, I think we still hung out with Valentine's, whatever. But then towards the
Thank
end,
you, Kimberly.
So March, he asked me.
Well, listen,
You
I
know.
counted the minutes. I counted.
He counted them. Them
counted.
knees was hood. Them,
I was
he
Pastor
about to
Doubting,
be-
Pastor Doubting to the prophets. Forget my mother's knees. Doubting to the prophets after my knee. On that concrete.
I was just about to say that. But yeah, so I had no idea. He was way ahead of me. And I was like, I still was on some like, honestly, I gave like, and I say he didn't force me, but I kind of forced myself to say
I was
yes.
scared for you. She almost didn't say yes.
I almost did. And I was like, okay, well then I just won't go to your apartment and it'll be it. But I knew, like, I knew that we were working towards being together. And
Yeah.
so even with the unsureties that I had at that moment, it was me taking a risk.
Hallelujah.
To try love again. But I wasn't ready, honestly. I wasn't fully ready. But I'm like,
I knew I was gonna get her ready. Ah, hallelujah. So so fast track. We get back together in March. I propose in April on her birthday week. We get married in September, and now we got little man who's knocked out. Knocked out. But shout out to love and how it will happen. But I want to talk about something that's important for those of you who are on. Let's talk about this. We said we were going to jump into this week. Secret dating versus private dating. Private dating, or not dating in the public, did so much for us. It didn't put the pressure on us. For me, I can talk for me, and I won't talk for you. Wait, before I move on, Aretha said, how did you determine when to propose? When I knew that she said yes to be my girlfriend. Because I know that was a big deal for her. Because again, we weren't dating just to date. We were courting to marry. So if she said yes, that means that I had a chance. I had a shot. So yeah, that was a really great question.
Sidebar, we should have had this video, the proposal. If
Next
those
week,
who
we'll have
saw, we really doing next? Okay.
Yeah.
Those who
hopefully.
saw the proposal, they made fun of me because I literally dropped to the floor. We'll show it
Next
to
week.
him. He says next week.
Hit the floor.
I've had people say, oh, now I get it. Why you reacted that way? Because I literally had no idea. He said to me, like, when we got back together, we had talked about, okay, well, if we
No.
decide to, really move forward in this, what does marriage look like for us? I'm like, counseling, premarital counseling, maybe late in the year we could potentially look at premarital, all of that. I'm thinking that we'll probably start this process in October, November. I had no idea this man had already made up in his mind from when we reconnected that he was, choosing to make me his wife. So that was so authentic when you saw me fall to the floor. Like, I literally could not believe my eyes, but wait till next
That's the
week.
anointing.
Till June. What did I saw Justin say something? He was scared. Oh, let me not touch this.
Yeah, Michigan. Justin said he was scared that you were out for real. Yes, I was. I didn't know, but I took a shot, and if she said no, I can live with the fact that I tried. That I tried. Yeah. Fellas, try. The worst thing that she can say is no, but at least you know. Bishop Leslie Gates says, what a bishop, like, God bless you, Lady T and Williams. You both compliment one another. Great example of love and cohesive before the world. Thank you so much. But I think that had to do with us dating not publicly. It allowed us to really kind of work through our situation. But what's important is that when we were in a relationship, we were in a relationship. And there's a difference between secret dating and private dating.
There's a difference.
What's your definition?
I would say that private dating is when you are being private about the possibility of a relationship with someone else, and you're not making it public. But secret dating, I think, is when you don't want other people to know about it for some hidden reasons. Maybe you already know that this is not good for you, or maybe you're doing something out of order, and or maybe you're fearful of because of narratives that may be about you or that person, and so you're trying to sneakily make something work that is just not in alignment.
It's a good definition. Perfect woman's definition. Justin said I knew from day one, but the enemy tried to stop it, which is true. I did know you were my wife from beginning, even though took me a while.
Okay, what's the woman's definition you talking about?
I think that sometimes I'm interested in Valerie saying explain more. What do you want us to explain more? Please let us know in the chat so we can talk about
Hi,
that.
Pastor Valerie.
Hi, Pastor
Apostle Valerie.
So in terms of secret dating, I think that it at one point it could be like a secret type of thing where well, let me change what I'm saying. With secret dating, it could be that you're hiding or being sneaky. I know for men, when we're introducing somebody to our family, to our mothers, to people that we are close to, it speaks to something that you're pretty sure about. So secret dating could also be not necessarily that I'm sneaky for the sake of because I'm dealing with other people, but it also could mean that I'm not sure, which in both regards I think is not a good sign for the other party. So it could be that you're secretive because you're dealing with other people and you're being sneaky, or it could also be that you're just not sure. And Leonard Deuce at Blessings Team Williams from California. What's up, Bishop? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being on. Apostle Valerie said, I was taught to introduce the person to a family or a leader. Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
But that's where I feel like, I still think you can not be sure about something and still date privately. Like we were dating, we weren't sure.
Yeah.
And we were private. Unless you was being sneaky.
But the thing is, even with us being...
No, you got to answer that part.
You know why we were private and not sneaky? Because you met my mother. My mother knew who you were.
So that's what I'm saying.
Very important people in my life knew who you were. My bishop knew who you were. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
But I think the difference is with sneaky dating, you're not introducing it to anybody that you know. You're just trying to, make things happen, and people are just finding out, like, oh, I didn't know you, so...
This is good. Somebody said you needed to heal. Kim Ketta said you needed to heal first. What is the healing process for you during you guys getting back together before you got in contact with him? What does that look like outside of me?
Outside of you, man, prayer. It took definitely the Spirit of the Lord to calm me in certain instances or bring things to my remembrance. Because naturally, right, your flesh is going to recall those places of pain. Triggers will recall those places of pain, but it was important for me not to operate out of those places and to trust in, the change and the growth and the word that was spoken, and to continually work towards that. And it took work on my end. Like, even though I may have been hurt in certain instances, it still took work on my end to make a decision that I want to make it work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. And then for me, it took me kind of like realizing this period for me, in all true honesty, I grew exponentially from a spiritual standpoint, because it was the first test of me standing on my own. And let me clarify. Let me say it and then clarify. It was the first time me standing completely on my own, making a life-altering decision on my own. And what I mean when I say this is that a lot of let me clarify. Some influential people in my life who I held, that I still do hold in high regard, weren't necessarily cheering for us. And these are also people, some of them are in spiritual positions, anointed men and women of God who are in prominent places, who are national voices, right? So I say that to say, with all that intact, I had to make a decision to say, okay, I understand. I'm the type of person that really seeks wisdom, and I appreciate wisdom. And so the reason why our situation is so complex, like what Apostle Valerie said, mention it to a leader, mention it to a spiritual advisor. But what if that spiritual advisor tells you something opposed to what you believe the Lord is telling you? That is a very unique situation that we were placed in. It wasn't like people were like, we didn't listen. I know for me, I was very astute to what people were saying to me, but I was also knew exactly what the Lord was telling me.
Yeah.
And I think that That's important.
I want to address one of my best friends is on here, Sophia. Shout
What
out
up, Sophia?
Sophie. She says your friends were there too. It takes a village sometimes to heal you through the healing journey.
That's so true.
And I absolutely agree.
Don't be by
Like,
yourself.
I could not have, made it really also without my girlfriends being there to hear me cry on the phone and just be so frustrated and hurt and broken. And they talk me through, pray me through, laugh me through it. So definitely having the right friends around you to,
Yeah.
kind of keep your attention in a different direction also helps. I want to acknowledge, hi Cherith. I want to acknowledge her comment that says, and Shay as well. Secret means hidden, private means boundaries.
Ooh,
That's really good.
That's good.
Because Shay also
That's a
mentioned,
really good quote.
secret means that you're hiding something.
Yeah.
So secret means hidden, private means boundaries. And you know how the difference too is like when you're in that situation, if you happen to be seen with somebody when it is a private situation, you're like, oh, okay, they saw us, well, oh well, kind of whatever, but we know what it is. When it's hidden, it's kind of like there's guilt attached to it. Like the eyes. Caught, right? I'm like, oh shoot, this is not gonna be good. It's going, you know what I'm saying? So, God gives us these, senses that go along with when it's secret.
Every guy has that joke where it's like when you make it official with a woman or you show up engaged, the phone goes bing, 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 bing. Oh yeah, I didn't know you was with her. Oh, I hope that you're happy. You get like 10 messages on your phone. But yeah, dang, it's 10:05 already.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Okay, we got 10 minutes. Let's go to the last one because we got to get to the last one, and I promise you, part 3, we're gonna do some funny things. So we're gonna play a game. Go ahead.
No, I didn't know you had a game, but I also want to know, like, are we doing questions this one? Or
Yeah, we're gonna
wait
do
till
questions.
next week?
No, we're gonna do questions. But I have a game for you guys. It is called Green Lights versus Red Flags. Please don't forget your questions because we're gonna do quick Q&A. But just it says, what did those friends tell you, Pastor T, when you're reconnecting again? Because I want to know how women can be how us women can be with our friends. All right, hold that question. Let's remember, Imani has a question. All right, Kimberly Jackson said part 3 and 4. We'll see about 4. But let's play a game called Green Lights versus Red Flags. We want to hear from you guys. So what we mean by green flags and green lights and red flags is, what are signs? And this could be a new person. This could be somebody that you've dated before. But what are the signs, the green lights, that you should move forward with somebody in marriage, that this person is the one? What are red flags that tell you this person's not the one? So it could be, you went on a date with somebody or you've been on a couple of dates, and these are some green lights for you that tells you to move forward. And then these are some red flags that tell you, this may not be the one. So let me hear you. Green lights versus red flags.
Shout out to Heather. You got me, I got you. We got each other, girl. One of my other best friends. I love you.
The girls are on here.
They
For those
on,
of y'all
they on.
who don't know, these are the girls. Shout out to them. They held my wife down. And yes, these are the young ladies who
These are they.
These are they. All right. The women who are on, holding my wife down. Yeah. All right. So let me hear from you guys. Green lights versus red flags. What are green lights versus red flags? All right. Lady J says green lights, stability. Red flags, unstable. That's so good. All right, that's good. Stable and unstable. I think that I wonder if she means financially or if she means and spiritually. It could mean a lot of different things, right? Mm-hmm. Red flags. You're always paying. That's good. That's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag.
Sophia said those are some. Sophia couldn't make it, but yes, absolutely, she's mine.
Yeah, we already know for life.
Yes.
Apostle Valerie Cat, what did she say? I need glasses.
Financially stable, has vision, saved, Yep, those are good ones.
Those are good ones.
Red flag, inconsistent, especially concerning time and values.
That's really good. That's really good. Green flag. Green flag. Similar values. Feel comfortable being vulnerable. Respect. Clear communication. Consistency. Man has vision. Action. Much words. I love this vision.
Yeah.
Look at Antoine. That's my brother. That's our brother.
Hey.
Our brother from
Uzier
another mother. This
twins.
is that's just like our brother for real. We love you, man. Valerie said green light. Meeting with his mom when he's never introduced anyone to her before. That's pretty good. Jalen said green light. He was open to going to church with me. That's great. That's really great. Imani says green light. Visible change in mindset, attitude. Red flag, stubbornness. Apostle Valerie says red flag, emotionally unstable. Kate said green light, shows up and makes the sacrifice of time and effort. That's so good.
That's good.
I'm not seeing no brothers respond.
Stay quiet. Y'all quiet.
Danielle said green lights align with each other's values, morals, and spiritually. Tiffany said green light when I'm at peace and I don't have to question their motives. There's clarity. Red lights when I'm not sure. That's always like a kind of a main thing, like when there's uncertainty, right? Which brings insecurity, right? Uncertainty always leads to insecurity. Green light, a man who has accountability persons. That's good. Shout out to Justin. He was one of mine.
He says the will to grow.
That is so good. I want to say this. Can we just put a pause for that? What Justin just mentioned. Sometimes you're not always going. Matter of fact, all the time you're not going to find the complete package. But if you're willing to see potential in that person and they're willing to grow and evolve, I think that's important. Do you have green flags and red lights?
I'll say one of them, which is, and this was also a part of my, so when I was kind of going through, prior to meeting him, and I was kind of going through these different relationships or dating or just exploring and being open, a friend of mine, shout out to Nikki, Nikki Stanley, she had introduced me to what was kind of, a list of what you say?
No, I'm just saying. Dominique said when the pastor warned you about their patterns.
Oh,
Because I done told so many people about patterns and they don't listen to me. Okay, finish.
he's getting,
Yeah,
feeling
pastor
away.
need
But
those
get
are-
the pastor. We not doing pastors.
Okay.
All right. So she had given me like kind of, and this is a takeaway, may be helpful to you, but it was to me. This was not the Bible, right, in terms of what you write down, but it gave you framework in terms of what to look for. And because anyway, babe.
Go ahead.
It gave me framework of what to look for in the other person, because now I'm like, okay, well, I'm open to this, I'm
This is
open to
before
that.
me?
I had all the boundaries was like right before you.
Okay.
And so I made a list of what I wanted in my person, right? I wanted him to be, so this is one of the green lights, that's why I'm listing it, to be God-fearing. That's a green light. And what I
Yeah.
mean by God-fearing, one who loves, serves God, has a relationship with God. Because at the end of the day, and Justin will also attest to mentioning this to me,
I gotta hit OD
when
finish.
that person is tethered to the Father, when you can't get to him, God will. When your emotions, or when you're trying to like figure things out, or when you are, even when you guys may be having tension, that same person who has an ear to God, an ear to the Father, will be able to circle back around to you and meet your needs, because he's heard from the Father and he was sensitive to the Father. So I wanted a man who had a relationship with God, who could lead my family. And Alex definitely showed that quality, which was number one on my list of things that I wanted my person to be.
That's so good. That's so good. My green lights probably have to be, has a strong relationship with God, has a strong relationship with self. Number three. Number three, has the capacity to evolve. My red flags are someone who seeks extraordinary attention. It's annoying to me, and it's a huge red flag. Another red flag is someone who's prideful, and last, someone who's selfish. Some people. Let me see who else. Oh, we got a brother. What did the brother say? OD says, green light. She has healthy senior men she submits to already. Wow, that's good. Bang bang. Jamie says red light, wanting to be sexually active before marriage. Let me hit on this. Let me hit on this because I think this is going to be important. If you're a healthy, let me clarify, heterosexual man, you're going to desire sex, but it is the Holy Spirit that will keep you restrained. I think the reason why I want to respond to Jamie in this is because it's really important to distinguish a man. If a man, and this is just a caveat to that, and I'm not saying she's not saying this, but a man also should show you, and this is just as an aside, a man should show you that he has desire to be with you sexually. And he also should have constraint not to pressure you to have sex. And he shouldn't be having sex as well. The reason why I say that is if a man is not showing you that he's not sexually attracted to you, is a problem. That's a red flag. Oh, it's quiet here. Come on, lights. Amen, lights. If a man, I need y'all to hear this. If a man, now I have the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit kept me constrained, kept us not moving in that way before marriage, thank God. But if a man is not showing you that he wants you, or that he's attracted to you sexually, or that he doesn't appeal to you, that y'all not appeal to you sexually, maybe he wants an arm piece and not a wife. Maybe you got to test this. A man needs to show that he's sexually attracted to you. If not, there's something wrong. There's either something wrong with her in terms of his attraction to her, or there's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
A man, because the reason I'm saying this is because there's too many men, too many women, and I just got to be honest. There's too many women who are marrying men who want marriage and want the look of marriage, but he doesn't really want her because he has other passions.
My Lord.
So, all right, let's talk. Questions. We're gonna open it up for quick Q&A, and then yeah, this was good. We're definitely gonna do a part 3 next week, Monday. So Q&A. There's some people who ask questions. I can't go back into it. There's a couple of people. There were some really good things that were said in this chat. I see a couple of green lights in there. I see Imani. Odie said, agree, Pastor Alex. Also, the woman should show some signs of restraint as well. Yes, definitely. Let me see. Heather said T was one of the last. Oh, this is good. Let me just put this up. This is going to be encouragement to somebody. Heather was one of the bridesmaids. She said T was one of the last few in our circle to get married. Some of us have been married for upwards of 15 years. Our advice came from a place of knowing her for over 20 years. Lots of prayer and so much listening. T is so special to us. We know. That is so good.
Love you. Oh, no, you left something out.
Ooh, okay.
You left something out. We know her worth. She's a true prize. She's simply amazing.
She
Thank
is.
you, Heather.
She's my prize. She's God's gift to me. She really is. Yeah, that's good.
Let me tell you how I knew that I was the one. Because at one point he said to me, usually
Ask Kim, sexual attraction does not mean let's get busy. It means, yeah, I desire it. That's good.
He said, usually in relationships, I'm the prize. But you really are the prize.
You're going to expose me like this in this life.
This man is cocky, you hear me? Cock to the E. Listen, he said, I'm usually the prize. So I knew I had to be special.
Let me tell you.
that now I'm the prize. My God.
Okay,
love him.
let's go to Q&A. she didn't say she was gonna say that, but I know who the Lord made me to be. You hear me? I I know who I am in Jesus
I know.
Christ.
That a green flag or red flag?
Green light,
Bust
red
up.
flag.
What is it?
Green light versus
Green.
red light.
Same thing. Y'all let me know. 'Cause,
Let me
child,
tell you, Justin. Let me tell you.
I
Okay,
didn't know
okay.
how to
Let
take
me
it.
just say this. My cousin Justin will tell you. We're Knights. I'm a Williams, my dad's side, but I grew up. We were Knights. We all knew what we possessed. We knew what we had to offer. So we knew that it's good when a man knows who he is.
It is, but you know.
Okay, what are the questions? It's the Q&A. Place your questions in the chat. Okay, Dominic says, would you give your support to someone who introduces the person who they have been cheating with as their partner to the world after the divorce has been finalized? Or would you still hold them accountable? Not my situation, just asking. Would you support? No, I think that that's a false sense of relationship if somebody's still trying to introduce you guys as partners when it's not really the situation. That's extremely problematic, and I wouldn't advise anybody to go along with that because that's not fair to you and your relationship. Great question. Yes, Justin. Aretha says, question. You guys have experienced a beautiful year. Engagement, marriage, baby. How did you prepare for these amazing transitions? A word of the Lord hit our lives from Amos 8 that things will happen so quick that your head would spin. And our head is still spinning. All right, this is going to be really good. Once we got engaged and we finally came to earth that we're engaged, we said that if it's the Lord, we would get married in September. If not, we would get married next year, April. And it was literally God's hand pushing this, everything falling into place, from who was doing our wedding to the venue to the finances to, like, we had people from all over sewing into us and helped us to get married. We had people who like sponsored, like I can't even go to how many blessings the Lord like placed upon us. And so God will never endorse something financially that he does not agree with. And so you know that you have God's endorsement when he puts not only his stamp of approval on it, but when he put resources behind it. So yeah, and then in terms of the baby, we've just been trusting the Lord. We have also gotten married at an elevated age and stage, and she knew the life that she was getting into, me being a pastor. I knew who I was getting into, and we also believed that we were having a child. So, like, we ain't no spring chickens, so we kind of knew. Let me see. For those of you who said you just came on, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can see the replay. You can see the replay there. Go to @awilliams2remember, and you can log on to and tag onto our YouTube channel. All right, so this says, yeah, so for those of you who came on late, Yvette, come watch the replay. Justin says, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years with your ministry, with your family, and with your ministry? I'm going to answer because a man should have vision. And
Come through here.
so by this time, 5 years, we would have owned our second or third property. Thanks be to God, the Lord has already blessed us, but we would be in that place. I do see either one or two more children. John Carl have probably a sister, right? He'll have a sister. Not only that, yes. My mother said, and we believe God for John Carl's sister. There, she
That's
on it.
so funny.
Livonia Lucas, blessings, Pastor and First Lady, sending love from Pastor Levon Lucas and Lady Crystal from Charlotte, North Carolina. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining. 71 of you who are on, we
Hi,
love you.
Diobita.
God bless you guys. Not only that, our ministry next year, quiet as it kept. I'm not going to say next. I'm not going to say next year. In the next 5 years, we will have a marriage ministry. We'll be doing a marriage a conference, and we will have a marriage book, a joint book. There's some things that will come next year that we've already been praying and talking about. All right.
Oh, there you have it.
Yeah. William Moore, love you too, man. Good to see you. About 2 weeks. We'll take one or two more questions, and then we'll see you guys next week, Monday. One or two more questions. Let me see. Jalen said, I'm still waiting on the twins. Lord help. Lord help my wife.
Jalen.
Help my wife. You sure? After
I know. First we was screaming for twins. Now we was like,
Look at
maybe.
him.
The Lord knew. You see this?
You see him? He's already
Look,
over
over
us. Look at it. Look. Why is he like this? He's over it. He's like, Mommy, when y'all live gonna be over?
Stop making fun outside.
He's over it. Get his like poor little boy. Okay, so Kate says, did you find that having been together before made it easy to get together while being in ministry? You want to answer that?
Yeah, I haven't been together before. It made it easier to get together
Yeah,
while
bro,
being in.
get big.
Yeah, because we we knew each other by that point. We knew our personalities. We knew our dreams. We knew, what it was like to be in ministry. Even though, me coming into more so his world, right, of pastoring a ministry, I didn't know what all that entailed. And I'm still, I'm learning, but at least I had a framework, right? Especially having been in church, having been in ministry, having been in different facets of ministry. So it definitely was easier, because we knew what we were getting into.
Sure. I put up this picture because in 2019, Lord gave me a vision to do a prayer across the Brooklyn Bridge. We shut down the bridge. We did it. And mind you, this young lady believed in me. And this is a key for you brothers who are on the line. She believed in me before we were engaged, before we were married. She showed that I showed her that I had something for her to actually believe and push.
That's good.
I had to
Glad you
give her something to work with. So brothers, you have to give her something to work with. And she saw that I was a visionary. And so she believed in what I had to offer and what I perceived as ministry. And then number two, she believed in me and she pushed something that I had, and she believed in me. And then another thing is we aligned in the way we saw and perceived ministry. We didn't see it in two different. We saw it in a very similar fashion. So that's a really great question. Kimberly says, how do you handle it all being newlyweds, new parents, the leaders of a great ministry with all the commitments and obligations? I think intentionality is important. Since we have gotten married, and let me go even specific. Yeah, since we've gotten married and since we've had a child, we've been very intentional. We said that we wouldn't lose ourselves. So we've been on an airplane at least 3 or 4 times since we've been married.
Oh, since we've been married.
Since we've been married, we've done honeymoon, we've done New Orleans, we've done Atlanta, we did a road trip, and we do date nights. So we're like, even after we had John Carl, we've done trips, we've done different things, and amazing support. My mama, her mama, sister, have been and shout out to Jenny, John Carl's girlfriend. We've had amazing support, so it allowed us to be intentional. One of the things that we said, I think after a month, we went on our first date. A month and a half, maybe 6 weeks. 6 weeks, we went on our first date. My mama watched him. We went. Our wedding anniversary, mama watched him. My sister Tanya came up for a whole week and watched him and gave us a chance to kind of so just intentionality is important for us. We didn't want to wait a year and then we lose ourselves and lose our relationship. Ministry is fun for us, and so it just allows us to work together, but we just practice balance. We don't take a lot of ministry home. We bug out, we have a good time, we have fun. All right, last question, and then let me see. Yvette says, now send me a husband. I got 4 years so I could be a part of a marriage ministry. All right. Justin says this is gonna be a last question. Justin says, if you can go back and do anything different, would you, or did what you go through make you? See, he said you're not a prophet, you're not a pastor, you're not a preacher, but you say he's preaching.
I'm waiting for him to walk in it.
I'm different. I definitely don't have any regrets. I think that the reason why I say that is I think that us going through what we went through. Reverend Bernard says something so important. He says there's so many people that get married in a fantasy and wake up to a nightmare. We did not have a fairy tale fantasy, but we have magical moments, which is important. And our feet are still on the ground. It's not a fantasy, but we have magical moments, which means that we have times we argue, we have times that we disagree, but we've built really great foundational pillars during some of the things that we've been through, where we know how to go through and we know how to quickly recover and rebound. I think that's really cool about us. We
Yeah.
can kind of rebound and real quick. And so I think that when you get married to somebody and everything is so perfect and it's so good, and then you work up like, wait, this is not the same person, you know. No, like we saw all the things that we've gone through, and honestly realized who we were marrying. We didn't come into it thinking that this is somebody else or married to our representatives. But yeah. Shayna, good to see you, Dr. Shayna. We love you.
Yeah.
Listen, we're coming back next week. What we're going to talk about next week that is going to be important. We talked about how do we get here was number one. Tonight was to be or not to be. But tomorrow, next week, we're going to really talk about, Justin said T. Would you have gone through this again?
Oh,
She probably going to say no.
I'm good on that.
He's like, I done cried.
Honey. Yo. Got my Harlem coming out. Some yo. Whoo, that's a tough question for me. It's a tough question for me. For the result, yes. But thinking about it, right? Everything I went through, that's tough to say I would want to do that all over again. It just was really
It is a lot.
emotionally tough. A lot of up and down, a lot of just a lot that we went
Yeah.
through. So for the result, yeah, if I had to,
Yeah, look at that ring and that baby. Show the
I
ring.
would. My bling belong.
Come on, bring it close.
My bling belong.
Hallelujah.
But, you know, doing anything differently, I think we said a little bit last week, like we would make sure that our interactions were appropriate to our title,
status.
our
Yeah.
status,
Yeah, yeah.
right? That like we wouldn't act like we were boyfriend and girlfriend and that wasn't our status, even though we may love each other and like each other and all that, like keeping better
Yeah.
boundaries. But it definitely helped to make us
Yeah.
individually. We definitely decided to grow through it,
Yeah.
you know, and allow another level of maturity for both of us because our love for one another had us make changes about ourselves
Thank you,
so
Jay.
that we
We love you,
could be
Jalen.
together, right? When you really love somebody, you're gonna make change. What's Pastor Bernard's
Reverend Bernard has a definition of love that says that love is the desire to please the one loved at your own
of
expense.
self?
Yeah, at the expense of self or expense of yourself, which means that it is totally selfless. And he says that when Reverend Bernard mentioned, and he said this in his book, and he's mentioned it to us personally, that when he first got married to his wife, he would give off all the reasons why he loved her. He loved her because of this. He loved her because of that. She would say she loved him because of this and that. But that's not unconditional. That love comes with conditions. That means I love you because you're this, or I love you because you do this. He says, now when you ask me, why do I love my wife? He says, I love her for no reason at all. And that's true unconditional love.
For no reason at all.
For
Yeah,
no
that's good.
reason at all. Yeah. So Her reason is her answer is obviously different. We've gone through and how we've dealt with things differently. I've seen a lot of marriages, and I've seen a lot of people not have the tools to get married, not knowing how to disagree and work through things. And I think that we've been through so much that we've kind of built some really good tools. Thank you, Kim Keta. We appreciate that. Listen,
Thank you.
we're gonna come back and see you guys next week for last part 3. It's gonna be good. Part 1 was how do we get here. Tonight was to be or not to be. Number 3, we're gonna talk about marriage. What does the first year of marriage look like for us? We just celebrated 1 year, and we're gonna give y'all the real about all the good and bad parts of marriage. It's not all good, but it's also not all bad. And I think that we just have too many extremes. Like some people, when they hear about marriage, they think it all doom and gloom. Like, I'm not getting married, especially a lot of guys. Thank you, Malik. We love you, man. I got to text you back. Love you, Malik. Yeah, there's some people that just think that, like, especially a lot of guys, I'm not getting married. You hear so many horror stories. But that's not true. Literally, I'm married to my best friend. This is the time of my life. But it's also comes with a lot of learning and a lot of changes of expectations and a lot of adjustments. You go into marriage thinking it's going to be one thing, or you thinking that finances will be one way, or you thinking that expectations are going to be one way. You have certain roles. We're going to talk about all of that. Like, because I think that many of us kind of like, what are your roles going to be in marriage? Who's paying for this? Who's doing that? How does that look like? Who's cleaning? Who's doing that? Like, we're going to really break down our first year of marriage. Jalen, yes, I'm 5 months in. Congratulations to you and Tim.
Congrats.
We just celebrated 1 year. So we want to talk about what 1 year of marriage taught us. What did first year of marriage? We don't come across like experts. Please hear me, y'all. We're still learning. We're still growing. We're learning from some of our friends and our peers who are already married. We're not expert in all things, but we want to share our story. And I believe that we have valuable information based on what we've been through, but also based on us talking to people. We're pastors, so we counsel and talk to people, to a lot of people who are married. And so, yeah. Next week.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a little out of context, but it came back to me too. I want to say this also. Part of a lot of me enduring a lot of the ups and downs and pains that I felt like I went through in the relationship was because I truly believed this was my husband at the end of the day. So I wrestled with things that Tian normally wouldn't tolerate or wouldn't engage or wouldn't really, I'd probably be like, all right, I'm out, got my Harlem attitude, like, okay, bye. So, but I did a lot of things that I normally wouldn't because I really believed it was my husband. And so with that pain came, me wrestling, whether I should stay around, whether I should, continue, or just kind of even when he was unsure, right? Like, this is out of my know. You unsure? Oh, then that's an answer. I'm not her, right? But there was still something deep down that kept me going. But the word I was looking for earlier was I would never allow prophecy to trump principles, not practicality. Never allow prophecy to trump principles.
Yeah, that's good.
You have to have principles in place, because when that's in place, if the prophecy is of God, it's going to align and follow through. But if you allow prophecy to trump principles, you're going to find problems.
Ooh. You see how she just dropped that? She can't help but to preach. Say that again. Say that line one more time.
If you allow prophecy to trump principles, you're going to encounter problems.
Y'all, let me tell you, now if you use that for your message, make sure you quote her. Because we got a lot of people that be listening to the quote. Say it one more time.
Now, if you allow prophecy to trump principles, you are sure to encounter problems.
That is so good. Mark that down. That's good. Listen, love y'all. Kim Keta said something amazing. She said, I was born and raised in an institution. I'm so glad that you took on the responsibility to grow the ministry. Happy to see the church is still around. I got saved. Lonnie Lucas, I was that preacher. Yes, thank y'all. Thank you guys. for praying for us, for our church, for our ministry, and all the things that we have going on. Listen, we're going to see you guys next week. It's my birthday Saturday. Wish me happy birthday Saturday. I'll be celebrating 30-something years. Wow. 30-something years. Amazing. God is good. So I'll be, celebrating this weekend. But then we'll see you guys on Monday at 9. Love y'all.
Love you guys.
We'll see you
Thank
guys.
you for joining us again.
Thank you for joining us. I hope that you guys had a good time. We love y'all. And again, we will see you guys.
Love on live.
Love on live. We'll see you guys. All right. Pieces. Deuces.
Good night.
Good night.
Pieces.
Pieces. Deuces. We love you guys.